Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 folding templates that are available on my website. Normally when I teach students, I'm able to print these templates off at home and make sure that they're printed correctly before I go into the teaching environment. But in this case, we're relying on your printer. So I'm going to go through these 3 different templates and hopefully one of them will work for you. So this first folding template is the right align template, and this right side is going to be kept as the side of our square. All snowflakes start with a square piece of paper. The second template is the centered template, and there are 2 cut lines, so we're actually going to cut on 2 sides to create our square. And the final one is the box template, and hopefully if the other ones for some reason are shifted, this one will still work for you. The only drawback with this one is that you're going to need to cut out all 4 sides. Now don't worry, I'm not going to make you use up all the red from your printer. I'm just wanting to show you what our end goal is here. So we're taking our square and we're going to be folding it into 12 triangles, each with a 30-degree point right there in the center. So that's our end goal. So first I'm going to show you how to use the right aligned folding template. And we're going to basically do the same thing we do when we're making a square from any rectangular piece of paper. We're going to line up the short side with the long side of the paper, creating a 45-degree point where they meet. And that should fold right on line 1. And then this line right here, the side of the paper, creates a cut line for us. I'll open that up and show you. Now we have a square. So then we take this square, and with the number side down, just because it's a template and we don't want to cover up our next step, we're going to take these 2 small points and put them together. And that will fold right along line 2. And as long as line 1 and 2 line up, you should be good to go. This next step is the hardest step. We're going to be folding the paper into 3 parts. We're dividing the point into thirds, but we're going to end up with ears sticking up at the top. So let me show you how to do that. So again, we're going to flip it over. You're going to use your fingernail to make like a little crease down here. Bring up that side. Trying to keep my hands out of the way. I apologize. Hopefully you can see. And fold on line 3. Then we're going to unfold, and we're going to bring up the other side. The other side has these 2 folds that are together, so we want to make sure we keep those lined up. We're going to again do our little crease down here. And then go ahead and tug on those ears to get a nice line along that crease that we made when we did fold 3, and fold along line 4. Okay, and then we're going to refold 3, and as we refold 3, we're going to need to recrease it because now it's going over 4 more layers of paper. This is the main body of the snowflake down here where your pattern is going to be. Be careful not to put the design up onto those ears, or else you'll lose the design. It won't be on all 12 of the triangles. Okay, next is the centered folding template, and we're going to need to cut on both of these lines. So since we have just our standard 8.5 inch by 11 inch copy paper, we can go ahead and cut 8.5 inches apart on these lines. To create our square. Okay, and once you have a square, so if you're starting with square paper like square origami paper, you just have to match the points and the sides and just straight down the middle. And then we line up those 2 smaller points again. to fold on line 2. Okay, and then again for 3 we make like a little crease with our fingernail, and we go ahead and fold that up and fold along that line. Then we unfold 3, and we're going to be holding on to these ears, keeping those 2 folds together, and making a point down here at the bottom. Now, this is especially helpful if you're doing wrapping paper or slick paper, because it keeps those pieces together and prevents them from sliding while you're cutting. Now I'm going to refold 3 again, and you'll kind of notice as I refold and recrease that there's almost like a bubble in here. It's just because you're going over those extra 4 layers of paper. So again, keep your design here on this triangle and not up on the ears. A lot of times for beginners, I will suggest that you just go ahead and cut right along that line so that you're not even tempted to go up onto the ears. But as you get to the more complex patterns, or you're holding patterns on with paper clips, I usually leave those ears on so that they're a place to put the paper clips onto the pattern, or to help me when I'm turning. It's just a place to hold on to as I turn the paper. And then the last one is the box template, and I've already cut it out. And we go ahead and we have our square, so we match the point in those 2 sides. And fold on line 1. And then we take the 2 corner points and bring those together, the 2 smaller points. Fold on line 2. And then we flip it over. We make our little crease. And again, I'm kind of exaggerating. I'm hoping you're able to see. And I fold right along that line. And then I unfold 3, and then I make sure that these 2 folds are together as I'm bringing it up. And I make a little crease down in here. And I tug on those ears to get a nice point down here at the bottom. Much easier when you're not on camera. And then go ahead and refold. Just make sure you got a tight refold, and then recrease. And you'll notice on this one especially, you can see the line for those ears, and I'm going to actually go ahead and cut that off just so you can see what the main base of the snowflakes looks like. So when I cut off the ears, I end up with a more circular shape. It's not exactly circular, but that's the basis of all of the snowflakes. That's why you don't want any of your pattern or design to go up onto those ears, or else you'll lose it on part of your triangles. Thank you for watching.